I gotta start somewhere. Cause sitting here trying to solve this fucking mystery. Alright. Hey everybody. Welcome back. This is Brogi Naric here with another review. This time I'm talking about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, directed by J.A. Bayona. This was a tough one. Well, first of all, I'm not the biggest fan of Jurassic World, the last one by Colin Trevorrow. I thought it was okay. It was kind of, let's just take the first movie and make it bigger. And Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is kind of like, let's do the second movie, but make it batshit crazy. Which can kind of be fun, but they really emphasize the batshitness as this movie goes on. But it's also a little bit like the first one too, because it's like we got giant evil dinosaur and then we got smaller evil dinosaur. And oh man, okay. This movie, oh, it exists. I got so many, just how to go through this. Okay, so the plot. Last movie, the park fell apart and it was a shit show. It's 3 years later, and now there's an active volcano on the island, and so the world, and specifically the U.S. government, is like, do we let the dinosaurs die naturally, or do we try to save them? And there's, animal rights activists who are like, we got to save the dinosaurs. And then Jeff Goldblum's character, who is, this is not a spoiler, he's only in the movie for like 5 minutes, at the beginning and at the end. Same fucking scene. He gets his paycheck and then he's out. He was my favorite. He's only in the movie 5 minutes. He's my favorite character because he's the only person who talks like a human being from our world. Like, granted, in this world, dinosaurs have existed for decades. There was a theme park, so people have this attachment to dinosaurs. But he's like, look, this was not right when it happened the first time, and now we have a chance to correct that problem. So let's just let them die. And thankfully, the government is like, yeah, we're going to let him die. So, Bryce Dallas Howard's character, who's the redhead lady from the last movie, she's all butthurt about it because she's an animal rights activist now. Which I don't remember her being a big... I don't know, I haven't seen the last one in a while. I don't remember her being like a... I remember she was very corporate and she was about the business. I don't necessarily remember her being such a bleeding heart for the dinosaurs themselves. But she's like pro-dinosaur. And this guy who I call him not Sam Rockwell because he looks just like Sam Rockwell, but like a fuller face. I thought he was Sam Rockwell for a second, but then I was like, oh, that's not Sam Rockwell. He's like the business, he's like the money control guy from the wait, hold on, no. So the original old man who created the Jurassic Park from the first movie, he had a partner. This guy, not Sam Rockwell, represents the partner who they had a split, and he represents him, and he controls his money. And he's like, hey, I'm part of this program where we're gonna go to the island. We got a group, and we're going to the island, and we're gonna save the dinosaurs, and then we're gonna send them to another island where they can live peacefully. So Bryce Dallas Howard is game. She goes talk to Chris Pratt. And they try to pull him into it because at first he doesn't want to go, but then she's like, "But Blue's there because, Blue is his baby, which is the raptor from the other movie. Like he had 5 of them, but Blue is the shit." So he, of course, joins in, and there's 2 other people that go with him that works with Bryce Dallas Howard as Justice Smith, who's a nerdy black tech guy. And then there's some Hispanic chick who's tough chick who's a dinosaur veterinarian. So they go to the island to track down. They need them because they have to access the security thing so they can track down the dinosaurs. They do that. They track down Blue, which is the one that they really need for reasons. As soon as they capture Blue, shit just goes crazy. The volcano erupts. They have to get off the island. And that's like the first portion of the movie. Then like the next portion of the movie is the rich guy that set this up, his benefactor has this big mansion, and the rest of the movie is just at this big ass mansion, which is a nice mansion, and beneath it is a base where mad scientist shit happens, and what's his name? Owen, Chris Pratt, and Bryce Dallas Howard has to survive and try to shut down because the people that hired them are evil, and they're not actually going to put the dinosaurs on an island. They're going to sell them to whoever. But not only are they selling dinosaurs, but they're also genetically creating dinosaurs, just like in the last movie. Only instead of having a theme park as a front to create dinosaurs to sell to people, they just outright just doing it, which, cut out the middleman. I don't blame them for that. And then the genetic dinosaur gets loose, and they have to sneak around the mansion. Because then it comes a horror thriller movie where they have to sneak around the mansion as they avoid the dinosaur. You get more dinosaur one-on-one fights. And then there's a T-Rex that just pops up conveniently whenever the plot needs it to. And then there's a big reveal. I don't know if that's well, yeah, I guess that is a twist. There's a thing that happens with a character that is a twist, and it's fucking stupid, but it's also believable at the same time. That's the main thing I'm conflicted, like, because it's like when they were leading up to it, I'm like, oh no, don't say it. But it's like, oh, that actually makes sense. Like, to me, it's like, that's actually more believable than all this other shit that's happening. But it's not Jurassic Park. It's like its own movie. So I don't know where they're gonna go with that one in the third one. But yeah, that's the best I can do for non-spoilers. This movie is a mess, but I think I kind of liked it more than Jurassic World, just slightly more. But it's not a better movie, which is it's not a better movie than Jurassic World was very paint by numbers. That's why I made $1 billion. It's like, okay, you got your dinosaurs, you got some action, you got some thrills, and that's the movie. This one is like, you got your dinosaurs, you got your action, you got weird plot, you got another weird plot, plot, and then we also have this line of social commentary, and then it ends, and it's like, it's a lot going on here. And the thing with the animal rights stuff, it didn't really work for me, because it's like, yeah, should these dinosaurs be saved? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, they should be dead. Like, you fucked up by bringing them back. Like, that's the real atrocity right there. Fuck this, we gotta save the like, no, they shouldn't be here. Like, nature was very clear on, yeah, dinosaurs ain't making it. Sorry about that. Back to the review. Yeah, this, like, yeah, the first one is much, like, from beginning to end, it's a much more tighter film. This film has a lot of different things that it's trying to say. It is, I don't know, it didn't really work for me. But the visuals, I will say, the director, J.A. Boyena, he has some really good visuals in this one. Like, the last one has some good visuals, but I like the certain tones that they were making in this one with the way it was shot. I liked a lot more in this one, especially one scene in particular, which was pretty interesting. But I don't know, how would I grade this? I gave the first movie, I would give a C, and I guess I'd give this one a C minus, or a like a C, I guess would be like a 5. So that's like an average. I give this like a 4.5 out of 10. It's not great, and most of the humor didn't work. Like, for me, the things that made me laugh was the shit that wasn't funny. Like, Toby Jones was in this movie. If you don't know Toby Jones, he's a great actor. He plays in Capote, and he was in Armin Zola and Captain America: First Avenger. If you know him, he has a big head and he's kind of balding. In this movie, and he's got a very distinctive look. In this movie, he has this crazy wig. He's this evil business guy. He's another evil business guy. He doesn't really do anything amazing, but he has this crazy wig, and it's got this swoop on it. And him in that wig was like one of the funniest damn things I've seen all year. And there's a moment when he's running and it's like flopping around. It made me laugh. Ted Levine is in this. Buffalo Bill. He plays the leader of the mercenaries that hunt down the dinosaurs. He's really just sleepwalking through this film. I liked him a lot too, just because he's Ted Levine. That's about really it. In terms of non-spoilers, like I said, the business guy, he's nothing. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, they're the same characters from the last one. They don't really do much different. This movie keeps trying to force that love interest thing between them, and I'm like, they're not that interesting of a couple, and they both are trying to play hard to get, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. There's this little girl in the movie. That's the granddaughter of the old guy that helped start Jurassic Park. She's fine. She's just a child. She's fine. But I can't say more on her until I get into spoilers. But like I said, I'd give this a C minus 4.5 out of 10. Just rent it. It's nothing you have to rush out to see. I don't think this is going to make $1 billion. I'm surprised the first one did, but I don't think it's going to make $1 billion. But that's really all I got. That's all I can say in terms of non-spoilers. So let's get into spoilers, because there's a lot on my mind. Okay, so spoilers. The first part of this movie, when they're on the island, that's some of the best stuff in this film. I enjoyed that. It was kind of weird, because it was kind of weird, because it's like they're like, we got to get on the island and we need your help to track down some dinosaurs. But they only needed their help to track down one dinosaur, because as soon as they get that one dinosaur, they're just like, all right, pack it up, let's get the fuck off the island. Also, conveniently, that's when, as soon as they capture the raptor, Blue, the volcano decides to erupt after that. It's like, oh, you got what you needed? Okay, now I'm gonna explode. So, yeah, that was kind of odd, but like, them escaping the island, that was really cool. Especially there's a moment, Chris Pratt, he's been hit by a tranquilizer, so his body is still numb, and there's this lava's coming towards him, and he's like partially awoken, but he's still like partially paralyzed, so he's like trying to slowly move his body where he can't really move his arms to get away from the lava that's about to engulf him. Which in real life he would have been dead anyway, because the lava is literally like 2 feet away from him, and the heat would have killed him. But then there's like, they get into the pod and all the dinosaurs are running out, and then there's this other sort of smaller T-Rex like thing that's about to eat them, and then the big T-Rex comes in. I saw that big T-Rex just keeps popping up and just eating shit and wrecking shit. Just conveniently, it's just like, oh, let me just eat this particular person. And that's the thing, it like snapped the dinosaur's neck and then it just moves on, and I'm like, why did it do that? I don't know. Like, I would have thought it would have snapped its neck then ate it, but it just snaps its neck and just keeps moving. That was a bit odd. It does that a number of times. And there's that moment where they're in the pod and they're like drowning and Chris Pratt is trying to save them. That was a cool action sequence. And then there's the sequence when they like drive the truck onto the boat that's leaving so they can escape, and they kind of like hide out on the boat a little bit, which is kind of funny, but it makes sense, because I was like, why didn't they just... Well, that was the weird thing. It's like the mercenaries try to leave Chris Pratt, Justice Smith, and Bryce Dallas Howard for dead. Like, as soon as they get the dinosaur they need, they're just like, fuck them, let's leave them on the island. I'm like, why do that? Like, people know that they're on the island. I guess they were like, well, they'll burn up in the building, and it's like, and the island, it's like, I don't know what happened, but it's like, there was the other lady, the doctor chick who was with them. Like, you're gonna kill her too? Because that's a witness. They know that there was 3 people left on the island, and it wasn't because of an accident. So for them to be so quick to just kill these people, that they have documentation that they came with it, like, it just seemed like that was like a bit, that would have been a bit of a plot hole. It's like, not a plot hole, but just like, if they did die, well, that's a lot of covering up you gotta do. And I'm like, why do that? So anyway, after they leave the island, this is when the movie just makes a turn, because it was kind of going good, and then it just makes a turn where the people are going to use the dinosaurs for whatever. Like, they're going to sell them to people if they want them for like medical reasons, they want them for pets, they want them for military, which is still the dumbest damn thing. I don't know why they keep this plot going in these movies where it's like, we're going to put dinosaurs in the military. because that makes sense. Like, yeah, because they trying to go through it, but it's like, well, we use horses, we use lions, we use elephants, and the Russians use rats to fight the Germans in World War II. I'm like, okay, but like raptors, did we ever do raptors? Was that a thing? Were cavemen using raptors when they had tribal beefs? No, they didn't, because they didn't exist in the same fucking time period. But anyway, they keep trying to push this whole we're gonna put dinosaurs in the military thing, and it's fucking dumb. Like, if this was another movie, which the ending kind of leads toward that, but it's like, okay, I don't know. There's a new raptor, the Indoraptor, which is like a smaller version of the Indominus Rex. Instead of being white like the Indominus Rex, it's black, and it's like a big raptor, T-Rex sort of thing. But it doesn't have the whole camouflage thing like the Indominus Rex. But it's still pretty vicious. And it's fairly, it's got the raptor brain, so it's pretty smart. And so they're having the auction, and they're like auctioning them off. And Chris Pratt comes in and messes up the auction. Dinosaurs get loose, or at least the Indoraptor gets loose. And then for like the next, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes after that, it's them sneaking around. It's probably about another 25 minutes. It's them sneaking around in the mansion, getting chased by the dinosaur, which was fun, but it was also kind of like, can we just speed this up? So yeah, then Blue comes in and saves the day. It gets into a fight with the raptor in the little girl's bedroom, and then they end up on like the roof of the glass house. But there's some nice visuals when it's like raining and lightning and the lighting of the glass house. But anyway, Blue saves the day. Well, Bryce Dallas Howard uses the gun, which is like, there's a special type of gun for the Indoraptor. It's like a laser beam and then like a sound. And when you target something with the laser beam and then hit the sound, the dinosaur will attack. So she aims it at Chris Pratt to get it to chase him, and then Chris Pratt jumps out of the way, and the dinosaur jumps onto him and was supposed to fall through the window, but it doesn't. It's smart enough. Like, who was the genius who put posable thumbs on dinosaurs was an idiot, because this thing is like unstoppable now. Like, as soon as they teach that dinosaur how to hold a gun, it's going to be Planet of the Apes, but with lizards. Which, judging by the end of this movie, I actually want that to be the third movie. Because the way this movie ends, it's like, you might as well go ahead, because this is complete ridiculous at this point. So Blue comes in and they kill the raptor. The evil raptor falls on the skull of a triceratops and it gets pierced on the two horns. And the movie's kind of over. But then there's another plot line that I kind of forgot about, where there was commotion in the hideout and there was a bit of an explosion, but some poisonous gas got released. So now the bottom layer is now being filled with poisonous gas, where all the dinosaurs have been in captivity. So now it's like a dinosaur death camp thing going on, and Bryce Dallas Howard has to decide, do I let the dinosaurs die or do I release them into the wild, which is about like 20 or so dinosaurs. And she makes the adult decision and not release them, because that would just be anarchy. But the little girl decides to release them because she loves dinosaurs, and animals have to be free, but she just, fucked the entire planet by doing that, because these dinosaurs are on the mainland now. So dinosaurs are loose, and they, I guess, reproduce pretty fast, but that's the end of the movie. It's like, well, now we live in Jurassic World, because dinosaurs are just everywhere now. Although it was only like 20 of them, and I don't know what part of America they were in or where they were in. Probably in England. I don't know where the hell they were, but the dinosaurs is released, and then next thing you know, the world is now controlled by dinosaurs, or is going to be controlled by dinosaurs. Which I want that to be the third movie, where it's like 30 years later or like 40 years later, and it's like a Mad Max type world where like people have to, most of society has been wiped out, and it's like Mad Max type world, but there's like dinosaurs around. I don't know, that would be fun. That's not Jurassic Park, but neither was this, so fuck it. Then there's the twist, which was, like I said, it's stupid, but it's believable in this world. The little girl is the granddaughter of the old British guy that used to work with Hammond, and he mentions how her, because they keep talking about her mother. I thought her mother was a character from the other movies, but she's not. She there's the mother, and then there's this older. Well, they keep talking about the mother, and then there's this older lady who raises her like she's her nanny or something. But it's revealed that that older lady isn't this British granddaughter's isn't her nanny or her grandmother. She's actually her mother, and the old guy is actually her father, because the reason him and Hammond had a split wasn't because they fucked up and recreated dinosaurs. That was already bad. He used the genetics to recreate his daughter, and that's why they split. So the daughter's like, I don't know, 10. I don't know, she's like 10 or 11. But it turns out that she's actually the daughter. She's a clone, a genetic clone of the daughter. And it's like, whoa, what? What are we doing? But when you think about it, it's like, that actually makes more sense. Like, why would you... What's more believable? We're going to spend billions of dollars to resurrect dinosaurs, or we're going to spend billions of dollars to resurrect pets and people we love? That's more believable. Granted, that's not Jurassic Park, but it's more believable. And it's stupid, but it's like, it's believable. So, but it was just like, what? Like, after all of that, then it's revealed, and it's just like, what are we doing? What is happening in this movie? And it's like, I don't know. This movie was a mess. It's like, it's not like a complete like, oh, this is garbage, but it's because it's trying. It is trying. It's just, for me, it didn't really succeed that much. Yeah, this was a rough one. People liked it though. There were people in the audience who laughed. There was one guy in particular who laughed at every joke, which I didn't think every joke was funny, but this guy sure did. He was laughing his ass off. People clapped, so it works for some people. I'm just not one of them. And Chris Pratt, he had like 2 jokes that were really good. And there's interesting scenes, there's interesting bits, like there's the bit where they got to get some blues hemorrhaging blood, but like they need another dinosaur to do a blood transfusion, which is the T-Rex, and it's like tranquilized in its cage, so Owen and Bryce Dallas Howard had to sneak in to get its blood. That was a fun scene. Oh yeah, and the business bad guy. Okay, so Toby Jones, he gets eaten by a Dominus Raptor. Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill, he gets eaten by a Dominus Raptor because he's an idiot. And then the evil, not Sam Rockwell, he gets eaten. Not only does he get eaten by the T-Rex, but he gets like also eaten by the smaller sort of T-Rex. Like they kind of like fight over him and rip him apart. Which, I mean, I guess like he wasn't. Like, how does he get eaten but not BD Wong? BD Wong is back as the genetic guy. And I'm tired of his character. I was tired of him in the last movie where he's like, oh, I was hired by this company to create a genetically altered dinosaur. But even though I was contracted by you, it's also in the contract where I don't have to tell you what's in the dinosaur. Like, what? He doesn't do anything that stupid in this movie, but he's still just annoying because it's like, why are you still doing this? Why are you still alive? Like, you need to be eaten by now. Like, most of the bad guys in these movies get eaten. He needs to go. But yeah, you don't have to rush out to see this. This is not the worst movie I've seen this year so far, but it's definitely one of my least favorites. But yeah, that's all I got. I can't go on anymore about this. If you enjoyed this video, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. And stay tuned for more videos.